Need to fix this. There we go. It can't now. The Zoom meeting can't decide which way to display the video. Hi, everybody. I'm getting some strange things from YouTube here. There we go. I hope that's displaying okay on YouTube. I can't tell. I'm on the Zoom page here.
Looks like it's catching up. Lisa's here. So hi, Lisa. Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Michelle. Bob? Now he's trying to take that over again. And Cecil's been in the bucket, but I didn't bring the bucket in today, so he's probably not too happy with me. Are you, Cecil? And he's got the evil tool that he dropped and crushed my thumb. He dropped that yesterday and then crushed my thumb, like he's crushing that. Although I didn't hear that little plastic toy scream. I tried not to, but did say ow a few times. Like, ow! Didn't stop him. You just aren't the same, are you? Yeah, you miss Peaches. I know. I know. I know. The other little one who's living proof that positive reinforcement isn't the only thing that works. I mean, you try to use that wherever you can, but he's actually sitting up here because of negative reinforcement. But that little negative reinforcement's in her cage inside now. Lorelei, she keeps chasing him, so he comes up to me for protection. So that's negative reinforcement. It's reinforcing the behavior I want, which is him sitting next to me, but it's doing it by taking away his sense of comfort.
So Lorelei is the punishment.
Yeah. Yep, punishment is just something that reduces or extinguishes a behavior. And his behavior of running away from me is definitely being extinguished. He's coming sitting next to me all the time now. This is the first time he's done it with Bob and Cecil out there. Usually when they come out, he runs and goes and sits up somewhere away from them, but not today. Yeah, I was talking with someone who was in rescue for a long time and but had never taken any classes because she started before you could get classes in like animal training and stuff. So she had actually said that you don't want to use negative reinforcement. I said, oh yeah, you do. There's times when that's the only thing that works. And we even use negative punishment sometimes, you know, and you add something like people will add their hand and swat a child away from an open flame. Yes, you do want to do that. But it's not like you want to do it all the time, but there's times when you have to. Right, Rome? He says, I don't like cameras either. I can see myself in there. I'm not fond of cameras. Well, hi, guys. As Peaches would say, hello, friends. Hello,
Falcon Sue is here.
Hi, Falcon Sue. This is the Romeo, a product of negative reinforcement. Yes. I hear you up there. Yes, I know. You wait till we start the meeting. You've been out here for a couple of hours. You haven't whined the whole time. And now you're whining. I wonder why that is. Well, I was talking to somebody else in a chat while I was working. You know, I have AirPods so I can work. And now you don't want to eat the Band-Aid. So I can work and talk at the same time. And they were making some comment about old white guy. I said, well, you have to take a look at a picture of my grandfather, because my grandfather was born in Chihuahua, Mexico. His family was from the Basque country, that area between Spain and France. Don't call them French, don't call them Spanish, not if you're there, not if you want to live, because they're not related, either one. But so I don't know if old white guy applies, although his wife was English. She spoke 7 languages, as did her daughter. Margot spoke 7, and Elena spoke 7 languages. My dad only spoke 2, so.
Well, what's wrong with being an old white guy? If that's what you are, that's what you are.
You know, I'm part of me is a white anyway. There's some white in me. According to my DNA, I'm 8% Peruvian, and I have no idea where that came from. 2% Han Chinese.
Intriguing.
Yeah, well, those are really fascinating. And what's funny is if you have 2 different companies do it, the information comes out the same. You know, so.
Oh, well, that's good. It's at least somewhat trustworthy then.
Well, I knew it was accurate when they were saying that there was Basque in there, because there just aren't that many people with Basque in their blood. There's only 50,000 people who speak the language. And the Basque is such a difficult language. There's a joke in the Basque country that the devil, which is not necessarily something that they ascribe to, but they said the devil tried to learn the language for 7 years and said the heck with it. So, I understand that you have to change you have to add things to the beginning of words and also add things to the end of words, depending on whether you're outside or inside, whether you're talking to a group of all men or all women, or it's mixed. I mean, there's just so many variations in the language. And I only know one Basque word. It's ona. It's one of the simplest Basque words. It means good. And I know that because there's a tool they use to pull certain type of cartridge, in plumbing, which was made by some Basque people, and it's called the Ona tool. That's how I know that word.
Is it good when it's men there or when it's women there?
Yes, the word has modifications, so that's the stem. I don't know what the modifications on the word would be. Yeah,
Okay.
it's quite a language, though. There's something else. They they've retained their culture. It is funny though, because their culture, they're basically 2 things. Would you stop? I got to show you what Cecil's trying to do. He's trying to eat my shoes and also hold on to that block of wood. You want to come up? Well, come on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to push you over. I was trying to get you out. I have never met anyone who is Basque, and I've met quite a few that didn't have the letter U in their name, and the Basques will joke, say you're not really a bat because they're shepherds, right? They're shepherds, and they also smuggle stuff from Spain to France and back and forth, that kind of thing. But they're shepherds, so they say, of course, all Basque names have a U in them.
A U. Good one.
Yep. Honestly, they used to, my last name used to have 2 U's in it, so I changed it because I changed my name because you couldn't even, I never even thought about just giving a false name, but you went to a restaurant or something, or anytime somebody tried to pronounce the name, they couldn't get it. They just couldn't get the name. I mean, you'd hear all kinds of things, and the one that finally got me is I was in a restaurant and they called for Eisenhower party of 2, and I looked at my wife at the time, and and she looked at me, and I went up and said, "Who are you calling?" And well, it's David Eisenhower. I said, "That's Urquidi." How do you get Eisenhower out of UIDI? I don't know. But that next week, I found out, whoops, darn it. You get a message on your screen. I have to bear with me. The camera's going to go at a weird angle, because I've got to tell my phone I'm in an online meeting so that I stop getting these weird notifications.
Well, there's There's people in the chat who seem to think that you have cockatoo DNA, Don, as well as Peruvian and Basque.
That's probably true somewhere along the line. I wish I could say it was true, but the cockatoos seem to accept me. Right, Rome? Yeah. Yeah, the only time I ever, in my entire life, when somebody hadn't been taught how to pronounce the name, was my German professor who became my mentor in college. He was calling the roll. And, you know, the U's were always towards the end. So I'm talking to the student next to me, getting to know him and whispering back and forth. And he called my name 3 times before I heard him because he said it right. And I looked, turned around, and I was waiting for him. My name used to be David. So he said, David, you know, I expected him to say David and pause, or then just, you know, David, and then just mess it up with whatever. So he said, did I pronounce that correctly? And I said, yes. And then he looked at me and he said, that's Basque, isn't it? And I said, yes. And that was the beginning of my, who is this person who can tell where your name came from? Why he became my mentor. I wanted to learn from him, but and a lot of what he taught me I use today in studying and learning. And I think the first real lesson, life lesson I learned from him was when he taught me how to write in German script, Fraktur. And then when I did the next test, he gave me an A on the test, but he called me into his office and said, you know how to write in German script, don't you? And I said, yeah. He says, well, if you don't use German script when you respond in the next test, I will fail you. He said, if you learn something, use it. So that's what I do. That's one of the things that's helped with working with these guys is that I'm going to turn the camera here while I pet her. You're not going to do it again. You got me yesterday. Nope, not today. That was the thing he was keeping. That's what he had in his beak yesterday. He dropped it like that, and then he grabbed my thumb. And he kept crying. It was like he was playing Crunch Meal. I thought he was in Amazon for a minute because he was like, crunch, release, crunch, release. Be nice. I know you're not going to mess with Romeo. Oh, these two. Salamander will do anything to get preened. It's all right, Rome. He's not going to hurt you. He won't bother you. Roman, it's all right. It's all right. No, Rome, Cecil, he doesn't understand. He doesn't know you want to preen him. He doesn't know that. He thinks you want to hurt it. Rome, it's okay. Here, Cecil, come on. No, come on, Cecil. No, let's go. Scoot. Scoot away from him for a bit, okay? He doesn't understand. Someday he might, but he doesn't, okay?
Poor Cecil,
right,
he
no.
picks people to be friends with that don't want to be friends. Well, not that they don't want to be friends, but they're not really sure how to be.
Yeah, Romeo doesn't know. It's all right, Rome. No one's going to hurt Roman good. No one's going to hurt you. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, I think that's where intellectually I got beaten up so much in the unofficial class where we all gathered and used Socratic dialogue to talk about everything under the sun that I lost that arrogance of youth where you think you know everything and you know you don't, right? So when I started studying about training birds, I didn't have any preconceptions because I'd been around one for a while. I just listened to Dr. Friedman and studied and did what she said and watched to see the reactions and looked at the videos over and over and over again of trainers working with birds.
Well, Erin has joined us in the chat, so hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
And also Lisa is reporting another incident of Rico stealing her glasses.
Yeah, that's not an uncommon thing about glasses. I have to watch Lorelei because she'll do that. She's gotten to the point where she likes Dan a lot, but he wears glasses, and I don't know how many times he's repaired his glasses, but they're not in the best shape, and she's already taken them once. So, yes, they can be trained out of it. Like anything, you can train a bird not to do something, but there's going to be we call it resurgence when that behavior comes back. So at some point, you're probably going to see it again, and then you have to retrain them not to do it. Usually replacements, you find something that you don't want to use something that looks like glasses, because that will definitely get you a problem, because you're training them to attack glasses when you do that. But you can get them something, a toy that maybe has, I'm not sure, something that's, what would be similar to glasses, but not that close. Now I'll think about that when you need, and that's it. You don't make quick decisions. You have to think about this stuff. But you find something that will fulfill that need to chew. Maybe a hat. Now, a hat can be a problem too, because some birds don't like you to wear a hat. Cecil won't tolerate it. Roman won't tolerate it. Well, no, excuse me, Cecil will. This one won't. You can't wear a hat around him. He will
And
get
he doesn't
behind you
like
and
big
fight.
headphones either.
No headphones. No bottles of anything that looks like beer. Well, he just won't tolerate it. Now, that doesn't mean I couldn't break him of that. I mean, I could work on it, but at this point, I don't walk around with a beer in my hand, and I don't wear a hat. So the only hat I have is a Ramstein hat, and I only wear that when I'm out to cover my bald spot, so I don't get sunburn.
And anyway, would Lorelei still be Lorelei if she didn't steal your earpiece anymore?
Probably not. Oh, you're back up there again? You just want to be friends. And he just wants to be friends. And look at Rome. I don't like this.
No, it's closer than he was last time though, so he's improving.
And Rome went over and preened a feather. I don't know whether that was an automatic response. Rome looks a little shocked that he did it.
It's like when Cecil flies.
He preened a feather and then he stepped back. What was that all about? Why did I do that?
Wait, why did I do that? Oh, well, Inga H has joined us in the chat, so hello, Inga.
Hello, Inga. Yeah, this is a developing situation. I think that Cecil will be able to make inroads here, because any other time, by now, Romeo would have just left. He wouldn't put up with this, and since Cecil's just sitting next to him preening, he's not leaving. He gets enough attention like that where he's not being hurt. I'm not going to let you sit there with a toy, though. I'm not going to do that, because you're not that friendly when you have a toy. We don't want to break whatever inroads we're making here. You okay, Rome? You all right, sweetheart? Lucy, what are you doing? Pippa's going. I've got the KT exact. I looked at her poop this morning, and she's going to get some rather thick KT exact, because she's got diarrhea going after 2 eggs. So I want to see if I can solve that problem with some KT exact hand feeding formula. Her weight's okay, but still. And oh yes, I might as well get technical and say what diarrhea is. Diarrhea is when the tubular green, usually on parrot's green, the tubular green section of feces, that's the part in the poop that if it gets to be where it's mashed in with everything else and you can't see it as tubular, then that's diarrhea. It doesn't mean you have a whole bunch of clear liquid volume, which is the urine, or that you have a whole bunch, a large amount of the urates, which is the either amber or yellow solution. You have all three, but it means it's all mixed together, that the feces are indistinct. And she had that this morning, so she's, you can get that in the morning sometimes, but not this bad. So she's going on to, hey, you're not going to go down there and bother him with that. No, you're not. So the KT should help with that. And it's like Metamucil, it's like psyllium. If you take a bunch, it'll stop you up. If you take just a little bit, then it'll make things move better. So she's going to get a thicker solution of it. And it'll help replace some of the calcium too. Since it's made for baby birds, it's got extra calcium. You're not going to go up there with a stick. You're not going to do that, because then you won't be able to make friends with him, because he won't trust you. Now, you're not going to do that. You're not. Romeo's going to move now. He's not happy with us. Hi, Rome. Now I've got a bird here. This Romeo, who's, because of the way they damaged the follicles of his feathers and he can't fly. He's scared. And if you really get him scared, if you get him scared to the point of like being ready to have a heart attack, then he will bite. But it's only out of fear. When there's no meanness in these guys. So you can't call a parrot mean. They have situations in their lives that may make them react a certain way, but the meanness is not something you'll find in a parrot. Humans have meanness, Humans go by and kick a dog for no reason. I'm not saying all humans, but there's humans that do that, all right? There's humans that, my parents, for example, these are people who they never should have been allowed to have pets. They would take back in the day when I was a kid, they had a drop chute at the Humane Society or the Animal Control or whatever it was, and you could drop an animal in there, down a chute. They had like a drop for a cat and a drop for a dog. That's insane. Who would do that? My parents did. Until they put a black cat down there and it came back, and they never did that again. A little superstitious, I think. But no, there's no meanness in these guys. Just like her, this one, Pippa, if she sees a woman, she's going to try to rip her eyes out. That's just what she's going to do. But it's not because she's mean. It's because it's something in her past, which I'll never know. And once I get a brave woman, we'll break her of that. Just hope we don't have to call that woman Cyclops after a couple of weeks. But yeah, this bird doesn't have any meanness in her. But you would, if you saw what she does to women.
Well, if I'm ever your way, then maybe I'll volunteer to be the person that hopefully doesn't get turned into Cyclops.
Well, it's just going to take, come bearing gifts. You go by the cage with protected contact, giving her favorite treat, which is sunflower seeds. So that's what she likes the most. That and edamame, but just go by and give her a sunflower seed, and then come by, irregularly and do that, and then sit in front of the cage and do calm attention. Get her to look at you for a second. Give her a sunflower seed. Do it again. Come back. Do that twice a day for, it'll take more than a couple of minutes. And after a while, she'll just start paying attention to you. Once she starts paying attention, you just look to make sure that those feathers on the back of her neck aren't going up. And within a week or two, the problem should go away. It may take a little more than that, but those two are amazing. I use those on Marley, the yellow-crowned Amazon. And heck, in a week, he was coming out in the aviary. They said, "Oh, you can't. No man can pick him up." Well, he'd come and sit on my arm. Just have to be retrained a little bit. Now, Romeo just grabbed my little finger, and you know why? He wanted me to pet him. That's a new behavior. He hasn't done that before. He just gently grabbed my little finger and pulled my hand towards him. Like, pet me some. I want to get petted.
Well, Spirit Matter has joined us.
Hi, spirit matter. Yeah, when it wasn't for negative reinforcement, he wouldn't be sitting on my lap asking me to pet him. And it's amazing, these guys can remember one incident, and that incident was just giving him alprazolam. Bob, no. Babaloo, don't start that. I'm going to have to throw a towel over this, or a blanket over this chair, because now when I'm on the phone, he's trying to pull my clothing through the chair because he doesn't want me on the phone. I say that because if I'm not on the phone, if I'm not talking like this, and there isn't something going on the screen, he doesn't do it. You try to peg behavior to the circumstances surrounding the behavior. It doesn't happen any other time. So. Now you see the way he chews that. That's what he was doing to my thumb yesterday. He was treating it just like if it was that piece of wood. And he had no idea he was hurting it. I mean, he had no clue that's what was going on. But he's such a good bird, aren't you? Aren't you? I will be glad when he stops. If he doesn't have a toy, he will usually have his beak open. It looks terribly threatening, but that's not why. It's more like a shocked look on his face. He's just shocked she's gone. Bob, he doesn't understand preening. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Roam. Calm. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Cecil, we're going to move you. Come on. We're going to move you just so that you're out of the zone where he might accidentally hurt you. There. He's just scared. Now, see where Roman has his beak open like that too. And it really is a shocked look. Now, it could turn into a bite, but that's not what it is. He was just shocked. That bird was too close. We do that too. When you're shocked, you see pictures of people with their mouths open when they're shocked. You know, in this case, the beak opens when they're shocked. So, yeah, environment. If you need to tag behaviors to environment because there's cues in the environment. There's things that are the predecessors of the behavior. They're in the environment. Like right now, with this guy, two things. If the other birds weren't in here, he'd probably be sitting up there on that branch. Because he doesn't feel that comfortable with me. He lets me carry him in now. But if there's no birds in here, there's no reason for him to be near me where he sees me as a protector now. So that's negative reinforcement. The mere fact that the birds are in his environment. Hello, Nancy. Oh, I was going to say we had a headless bird over there, but Jasmine popped back up. Thought she was trying to.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hello. Thought Jasmine was trying to imitate Sugar there for a minute. What are you doing in my pocket? Nothing in there for you. What are you doing in there? You okay, Roman? Oh, Romeo bird. Oh, this one scared the heck out of Rome yesterday. Because he'll drop his head down and try to get someone to preen him really fast. And Rome is like, ah! Big pink head right next to me. He wasn't too thrilled. Where are you? You okay? No, he's all right. He's all right. He's just looking outside. If only we could give him those 4 feathers back. In a year, he'd be normal. Or pretty close. But can't do that. What, Bob? What are you doing? No, we're not doing that. Get out of there. No, get away. You cannot do that to him because you're going to break whatever kind of trust he has in you. So stop. Cecil has that little piece of wood, and he dropped down and was like brandishing it at Romeo. You want to be his friend. That's not going to work. He has that long memory, this one. Don't you, kiddo? Hmm? Behaviors are pretty good right now. Bob's behaving well most of the time. Aren't you, Bob? Are you behaving, Bob? Is Babaloo behaving? Is my Babaloo behaving? He is. He says, just keep the camera away from me. I'm not fond of cameras. And other than crunching my finger yesterday, this one's behaving pretty well. Come here. That's you laughing at that? You think that's funny? Crunching a finger? You can't mess with Roman. You can bite me if you want to, but don't mess with Rome. Okay? You can bite me if you want to, but don't mess with Rome. You want to be his friend, you can't chase him. You can't chase him, no. Yep. Toothpick maker here. One thing, when I make the birdie bread, I've already got all the toothpicks I could possibly want. Right? Right, Cecil? And I have at times when I can't find, I didn't know where the toothpicks were here at one point. So I went and just looked around and found a nice piece of toothpick on the floor that Cecil had made. Uh-oh, there goes Sal. He's on a mission to get preened. You want to be preened?
Oh, he wants Daddy Cecil to preen him. There's no Mommy Lorelei out, but there's Daddy Cecil.
Now that's a problem for Snowball too. Did Snowball not get out here? Oh, he's up there. I see him. Snowball doesn't have anybody to preen him now, so I have to preen him. Lorelei used to preen him, and so did Cecil, and now he doesn't have anybody to preen him. Well, he's out with Cecil, but they never seem to get together and preen. So, Cecil, go preen Snowball, would you? Huh?
Thought I heard some little sugar squeaks.
Yeah, she's right over my head squeaking.
Sugar.
That's my face. Yeah, that's my face that you're doing that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Beth has joined us in the chat, so hi, Beth.
Hello, Beth. Oh, now, watch it. That's a bad position. You can get me in the eye there, kid, with that stick. Hmm? You don't really want a one-eyed caretaker, do you? Now you made my face itch. Sea salt. Seesaw? Cecil? Cecil. Toothpick maker. We got a ways to go to get to Arizona, but we're working on it. Appreciate the donations we've got so far. We're just working on it, trying to get it all together. I'm applying for grants. I'm hoping, it's the hardest thing to get, but I'm hoping to get a grant for property. That would be nice. At least enough for a down payment. I put out one grant for that, but now I've got, it takes a while, and I got a lot of other things to do too. So just keep working on grants, and the donations are helping us move. But the video I have of, I'm going to put out a video this afternoon, and it's Snowball. And the thing about it is, it's hard to get him to talk. And if you turn the camera towards him, he usually won't talk. But I got him to do that in his cage yesterday, and you can see the cage is older and it's got some rust on it. And as I said, when we get to the new place, he'll go in his larger cage, his newer cage. But right now we have to do with what we've got, because we can't put large cages into that room. As it is, that room has got all the cages it's ever going to get in. So and Bob's in a cage. The cage he's in is what, a 34-inch cage across. And the cage he's used to being in is it's 4 foot by 6 foot by 6.5 foot tall. So Cecil's in his regular cage, and Jasmine's in her regular cage, but that's it. The rest of them are, all the other cages are in storage right now. So those donations are really helping. And, get our buns. We're looking at property over there, and we can. It looks affordable, so a lot cheaper to own than to rent.
Oh my gosh, look at Sugar. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh yeah, I got to keep Cecil from getting too close to Romeo, because he's getting comfortable sitting on me, and I don't want him to break that. And he's got something in his beak, which his behavior changes when he's holding something, doesn't it?
Oh, there's a super chat from Erin. Thanks, Erin.
Oh, thank you, Erin. Thank you so much. We can use every penny. All that stuff adds up. On Facebook, we've now been approved to have stars, so people can give us stars. I don't know how much they're worth. It may only be a penny. I don't know, but they add up. Still fighting with Instagram. It's funny, Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp, they're all owned by the same parent company, and yet we can't. We're having to wait for Instagram to allow us to do fundraisers for ourselves. We can do them for other companies, but we can't do them for ourselves. And I don't know. I filled out all their required paperwork. I sent them the proof from the IRS, all that fun stuff. And we're just waiting for them to get off their pillow and do something. Bob, kill that mosquito. Come on, you can do it. Get that mosquito. You won't let me bring the mosquito killer in here, so you're going to have to do the work.
Oh, well, Spirit Matter says that they had to turn off sound recognition on their phone because Sugar kept activating the siren alert.
Oh, that's funny. Sugar, you're having an effect in the wide world. You know that? Uh-oh.
Well, she's becoming a hat.
Yeah, she makes a good hat, and she makes a good headless bird too.
It's pretty good.
She gets to preening her tail, and there's no head. It just looks like a body of a bird with no head on it. Ichabod. Mander, you're on a mission, aren't you? He's on a mission to get preened. Cecil, when you're that close to my AirPods and you've got a toy, it's not a good thing, because you start whacking. Hey, no, this is how we got bit yesterday. Come here. Get down here. Now, I don't want you down there. Here, let's put you up here. Maybe you'll preen somebody. I redesigned the YouTube page. I don't know if everybody's noticed, the YouTube page has been redesigned. So. My teacher.
Yeah, I noticed that the logo is blue instead of yellow.
Yep. Yeah, I redesigned that, and it's funny because Facebook tells you, well, make it this size, and if you actually make it that size, it's way too big for your page on the computer. So in order to do it, you have to actually embed an image inside of another image. It's really bizarre, but I've got the tools. I've got plenty of graphics tools, so it was time for an update. I took the logo that had cockatoo on it, and I simply took the wording off and made a nice blue bezel on the outside. Blue for the sky, of course. Get out of there. I did that in Affinity Photo, and the rest of it I did in Logoist. So. Logoist is a great application if you want to try a bunch of different fonts and backgrounds and stuff. You can just sit there and go click, 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 until you find out something you like. And I would kind of like that. Let me adjust it. And then you could make all kinds of adjustments on it. So the only problem with graphics is that it sucks my time up. So I got to be careful. I have to set an alarm clock. I thought you might play with it if I left it there.
Oh yeah, he likes that. That's pretty cute.
I actually threw it in here by accident because it's the roll I've been using to clean in here. And I said, oh, heck with it. Cecil will probably play with it. And he is. So. Of course, it's like the bird's disappearing in there. All we've got is a tail and some feet.
It's making a tent, I think.
He's making a dent in my shoes. My shoes have got holes all over them now. You're not gentle about it, Cecil. When you attack my shoes, you just go after him. One of these days, he's going to get the front of the shoe where my toes are, and there's nothing to protect my toes in there. But at least I know it'll happen. So when it does happen, I can scream at the right tone and pitch for the right amount of time. What are you going to do? I see your foot going on my shoe. Are you going to bite it or are you going to step up? He still got that look on his face. And the beak open. That happens a lot. He hasn't overcome it yet.
Yeah, he still misses his peachy friend.
Yeah, he was crying. I forgot to put my AirPods in, and I was working on the computer, and it's got pretty good speakers on there, and he heard her song, and I heard him crying in there over it.
Oh.
So I grabbed my AirPods. I went in and calmed him down, and then I grabbed my AirPods and started wearing those while I was working, so couldn't hear it.
Yeah, that must be confusing for them.
Yeah, there really shouldn't be any more peachy sounds around him. Who knows who that is? So.
It was so sweet when I was looking through one of the older Cockatoo episodes the other day, and there was one where Peaches and Cecil were both sitting on Udon, and they just kind of looked at each other just very lovingly, and it was very sweet.
Yeah, they had a great friendship. They went on for a long time. They were next to each other for 6 years, I think, in the
Yeah.
cages.
And it's funny because you wouldn't necessarily expect it because Cecil is so boisterous and smacks people in the face with toys and things, and Peaches was so peaceful. But they really loved each other.
Yeah, they were different. They were different in so many ways. I mean, you really couldn't get much more different than those two. Although Cecil is, he's got a tremendous sweet side to him.
Although I do sometimes wonder if Peaches hadn't been as severely disabled, then maybe she would have been a bit more like Cecil because she was always on the go. She always wanted to get into everything.
Yeah. She would usually manage to do it too. It just take her a little longer. She never gave up, that girl.
And she looked so proud of herself, particularly when she got down onto the floor and then you saw her and then you'd be like, Peaches, what are you doing on the floor? And she'd be like, I got her.
Yeah, that's going to be fun as I go back and look at those. I was looking at some early videos of her. I actually was looking for something else, and then I found videos of her. That one I put up today, which is just her loving up the water fountain. Not many people have looked at it, and I asked the person who's teaching me about social media because I'm not, I've never been that great on it. I just hadn't studied it that intensely. And I said, is Wednesday a pretty much dead day? And she said, yes. So that was the answer I got. Yes. You post stuff, but you won't get much of a reaction on a Wednesday.
Oh, well, at least you didn't do anything wrong. It's just that people are busy on a Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cute. I mean, you can't get much more cute than that than Peaches with her water fountain. But
Oh, yeah, it was lovely.
yeah, here's that big old monster that nobody seems to be able to get close to. He's such a horrible creature. This bird would let me do anything to him. This is just. He might complain a little bit, but he'll let me do anything. He doesn't like me giving him the medicine, so he doesn't trust me there. But offering him peanut butter with medicine and it isn't like reaching over and flipping upside down or something. Let me do that. But go to hand him peanut butter and say, yeah, you mix something in there. I know. But he looks good. He stopped chewing his feathers. I was really getting worried about this guy. But he's okay. Aren't you, boy? And his behaviors are normal. I mean, there's not